Hello, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Matt Sprague, and I'm a Senior Product Marketing Manager for Trimble. I'm joined today by Marcel Brokmat, who is the Product Director for Trimble Connect. Today we're going to explore a brief overview of both ProjectSight and Trimble Connect, but then go through and see a collaborative demonstration on how the two can be utilized in a workflow that will help speed up productivity. And then we'll conclude with some closing remarks and any questions that we have from the attendees to today's webinar. We're very excited to share ProjectSight with you. ProjectSight is built to support project teams in managing construction projects so you can eliminate risks and deliver the work you promised on time and on budget. ProjectSight is Trimble's next generation solution from the team who brought you Prologue. Trimble's ProjectSight is a construction project management software for budget and cost management, document control, and field management designed specifically for contractors. ProjectSight is an ISO certified cloud-based solution hosted on Amazon Web Services. ProjectSight was built from the ground up to be priced right, scalable and secure, built on the latest cloud technologies, intuitive and easy to use, and comes with unlimited data storage. The system is ready to be used out of the box, but in case you would like to adjust the product to your processes, it can be easily configured. So what exactly comes out of the box? ProjectSight has everything you would expect from a project management solution. Models and drawings, budget and cost management, including the ability to track and manage change, document control, things like RFIs and submittals, field management where you can track quality and safety. We also provide dashboards and a file library, and ProjectSight includes Trimble Connect, our collaboration environment that enables architects, engineers, contractors, owners, operators to collaborate on building projects. So let's dig into this a little bit. More to come on Trimble Connect in a little while, but let's dig into a bit more about ProjectSight. So when we talk about budget and cost management, we're really the industry standard in construction for budget and cost management. This helps your project team manage project finances to maximize profits and minimize costs. With over 25 years of successful project deliveries, ProjectSight provides the forward-looking project financial information you need to make better decisions on all of your projects. Particular functionality includes budget and commitments, purchase orders, payments, contracts, change management, and much, much more. ProjectSight gives you access to all of your drawings in the field, access to the latest drawings with markups and annotations directly on a PDF file, desktop or mobile. Additionally, through Trimble Connect, you can utilize 3D models for design and project management purposes. Or why not look at as-built point clouds and 3D models at the same time to visualize and capture design issues or manage change orders effectively. When it comes to document management, our construction document control modules ensure that all stakeholders are working from the most up-to-date information available, whether you're in the office or in the field. Team members can collaborate and converse on key RFIs, submittals, and more without having to use paper-based forms. Specific functionality includes meeting minutes, action items, as previously mentioned, submittals and RFIs, drawings, issues, transmittals, and we're adding more and more as we continue to evolve. ProjectSight was really built for both the office and the field. You can improve field management with software that establishes direct lines of communication and collaboration with the field, ensuring everyone is working safely, building off the most current information available, and updating the team on what is actually happening on the site. Interface easily with things like punch lists, safety notices, daily reports, work directives, notices to comply, and checklists. Connected construction. We talk about the right data to the right person at the right time. So connected construction, this is a term that is being thrown all around the industry. But similar to the evolution of BIM, at the very early stages, what exactly is connected construction? It's the same question that people had at the early stages of BIM. Trimble has a clear vision, and the example being demonstrated today between ProjectSight and Trimble Connect is a singular example or use case of what will be infinite connections that can be made between hardware and software and even manufacturers. We are defining exactly what connected construction is. So, what is it that only Trimble can do? Well, we have an amazing and unique opportunity to truly digitize the industry because of the breadth and depth of Trimble, the huge footprint on the field as well as in the office. On the right-hand side, you can see a few examples of Trimble devices and equipment. Over 500,000 of those are out there day in, day out, collecting actual data from the field. Being able to take all of that information and utilize it in different phases of the project and actually taking it all the way to the office is a key component. Imagine a day when you don't even think about daily reports or as-builts or think about submittals. Why do we even have submittals? Or why could a 3D model not include all the material information or the supporting materials? So we're not just raising feature-specific questions on the organization level, but rather focusing on true innovation. All of what I just mentioned are ideas, of course, but we have a great opportunity in Trimble to make it happen because of our footprint in the industry. Nobody else has the footprint in construction like Trimble devices and equipment. We are leading the way with realized connections already happening. After we acquired eBuilder 2 years ago, we built out the first set of connections between ProjectSight and eBuilder. If you're not familiar with eBuilder, it's a program management solution serving over $350 billion in capital construction projects. It is specifically designed for owners. On the other side, you can see ProjectSight, which is specifically designed for contractors. To address one of the main challenges reported by both the owners and the contractors, we built this integration. This way they can avoid double data entry where clients are forcing you to enter data into their system while you still have to enter it into your own system. Our goal is to eliminate the double data entry while allowing your clients and yourself as well to use your own environment. So one last piece of the connected construction strategy that we have, it has to do with our API. ProjectSight's API allows you to create integrations that fit your needs and your processes. Don't be fooled by the integrations where you need to change your process to fit in their box and those that require manual intervention. ProjectSight is built to integrate. This part has been a crucial component of the product from day one, true to Trimble's mission, and due to the direction of the industry that the industry is moving towards. It has an open API. You will get access to that along with the product. Which leads me to today's focus, Trimble Connect. ProjectSight comes with Trimble Connect. This is where the true magic is happening and where it will continue to happen as we dive further and further into connected construction. To speak more eloquently about Trimble Connect's capabilities and how it connects with ProjectSight, and to show you an example of how the two systems connect in a real-world workflow, let me introduce you to the Product Director for Trimble Connect, Marcel Broekman.
Thanks, Matt. Hello, everyone. My name is Marcel Broekman from the Trimble Connect team, and I will give a short introduction to Trimble Connect and then also demonstrate the software. During the demonstration, I will prepare and then share a view that can be used by Matt to explain the question in an RFI that he will create and raise in ProjectSight. But I'd like to start with a bit of background information for Trimble Connect by putting it in context of Trimble's history. Trimble started as the U.S. government's first commercial partner to deliver GPS technology to the market in 1978. And then it moved into positioning and layout. And over the past 10 to 20 years or so, focus has been on helping companies and roles users enhance their productivity in a variety of domains and positions. And as we were doing that, we noticed that users of those solutions within these domains wanted to use the output from one application as the input in the next downstream process. And that is often done through a process that I like to call a combination of interns and spreadsheets. So producing a spreadsheet output from one tool and then importing that into another tool, which is very manual and very laborious. So that results in a situation with a number of pain points. Data is often shared using multiple file sharing solutions, ranging from simple email attachments to sharing platforms like a Box or a Dropbox, to in some cases electronic document management systems. But the question is always, in what folder does that piece of data exist? What version does it have? And where in that file can I find the information that I'm actually looking for? So add that challenge to the fact that construction is characterized by disconnected processes, and you end up with suboptimal information sharing. This in turn leads to high risk of errors in an environment where margins are already slim to begin with. The Connect solution that we offer has two simple steps. The first step is that we make it easy to share data through one single environment. In that environment, not only BIM files, but also drawings, documents, photos, and even point cloud scans can be shared. And in the second step, we then enable access to that data in the design context. And in line with Trimble's history, everything in construction is location-based, and so therefore we make project data location aware through association with that design information, either in 2D drawings or through 3D models, and you will see a demonstration of that in a couple of minutes. The Connect ecosystem is used by Trimble applications such as ProjectSight and SketchUp and Tekla Structures, but is also available for integrators outside of Trimble. We have our own set of applications, and I will describe them briefly using this diagram over here. There's Connect for Browser. That is an application that can be used through any modern browser, so Google Chrome, Safari, Microsoft Edge. Just navigate to the application's URL, and you can start to interact with the content that's been shared, including 3D models. There's the Connect Sync tool, an application that helps you get data up into the Trimble cloud or download it from the Trimble cloud, schedule the upload and download times as needed, and define what folders you want to include in those sync operations. There's Connect for Windows, an application that's installed on Windows machines, not only the desktop computers, but also handhelds. And that application provides offline access to share data too. There's Connect for Mobile, which works on tablets as well as phones, and runs on Android as well as iOS. This icon over here represents VR mode. That is a mode in the browser application. You can switch to VR mode when you wear a VR device. And when you interact with 3D models in a VR device in the browser application, you get that fully immersed experience with the data that's been shared through Connect without having to install any additional software. Then there's Connect for HoloLens, and more on that in the next slide. So this is the Connect for HoloLens, the Trimble XR10 shown here. That's the Microsoft HoloLens 2 combined with a Trimble hard hat. And the Connect for a HoloLens application can consume all 3D models that are shared through Connect without any conversions. So just select the project, open a file or a view, and you're good to go. Use cases include quality assurance, for example, by measuring distances between the physical environment and the virtual model. There's asset management, for example, get access to model data while walking through a facility, or for construction phase instructions. An example of that last one you'll see here, where we see our colleague demonstrate the sequencing capability. Construction sequence can be defined in Connect for Windows, and then it can be used in the field while wearing the HoloLens, and you can play back the steps that you've recorded in Connect for Windows. Connect for mobile, then next. Computer is now always in everyone's pocket. Everybody owns a phone that has a big screen and can be used to pull up the data that's been shared through Connect. You always have access to all of the project information that is shared, including 3D models and drawings, which run on this application too. And the last slide before I go over to the demonstration, this is our largest project that we're currently on. That's Hinkley Point in the UK, the new nuclear facility there on the west coast of England. This project will have more than 4,000 workers on site when construction is fully operational again. And the structural design on this project for the cast-in-place concrete was done in Tekla Structures. And the models created in Tekla were then shared as views with field teams and included things like markups and dimensions. And this way, Lang O'Rourke, who's a customer there, targets a completely paperless and model-based process for everyone on site. So let's take a look at Connect. We're in the main screen of the application. This is what is presented after you log in with your Trimble ID. You will see the collection of projects that you've been invited to or that you've created yourself. And once I open up one of these projects, what will be shown is a folder structure. So this is how the data that is shared with the project team is organized. Pretty similar to other applications that serve this specific purpose, to create a folder structure with the files that need to be shared. Now, each of these folders contain the ability to assign permissions. So this folder, for example, has access for everyone. I can click this icon here and change the default access to, say, read-only, and only provide full access to the architects. That way the architects can upload data, delete data that is no longer needed, and share that with everyone. Now, those groups are defined in the team area here of Trimble Connect. When you navigate there, you see that there's a number of groups that have been defined. There's architects, concrete subcontractors, MEP engineers, owners, and you can have as many groups as needed. And adding people to the project is as simple as clicking this invite button, entering the email address of the person that you want to participate in the project. If needed, assign a group as well, but that is not strictly necessary, and assign the role that user should get. Default is user, but you can assign the project admin role as well, which makes it possible for that user to then invite other people to the project too. And you can see here that Matt has been invited to this project as well, so he can collaborate. The groups also play a role in another tab in the Connect application that supports collaboration, and that's the Activity tab. In Activity tab, you can see exactly what has happened on the project since it was created. So right at the top of this list, I can see that Matt actually joined on May the 8th. You can also see the changes that I have made. If that list becomes too long, only requires a lot of scrolling to go through all of the content, all of the activities that have been done. I can filter that down as well. So let's say I'm interested in seeing what files were uploaded. then I can check that box and it will filter the list of the activities on the project to all of the file uploads that happened. Files removed, file downloaded. Perhaps I'm interested in users joining, like I just saw Matt who joined. Perhaps I'm interested in views that were created, which is what we'll get to in a moment. Views are combinations of 3D models that can be shared either through email notification, but also by referencing them in an application such as ProjectSight. I can filter down individual users or groups, like we just said. You can filter the date range, today, yesterday, or a custom date range, and then reset to get the full list again. If I'm happy with the current filter, I can also export that to Excel, and that way I get all of the activity to date in a spreadsheet that I can reference later. So in the Data tab where we started, the data can include everything. It's not limited to BIM data. You can upload drawings in here as well, create a little preview of drawings and view them in the PDF viewer. You can upload Office documents like Microsoft Office files. Those are converted into PDFs and can then be viewed in the PDF viewer as well. In the Data tab, what you can find there as well is the views definition, or the views definitions, I should say. So those, as I said, are the saved views of models, individual models, or combinations of models. And you can then easily restore those views by clicking on them. So let's say I want to open up a rebar type B view that was created by me a little while ago. That will open up the models that were needed to create that view into the project data. And what is retained as part of that view definition is not only the models that have to be loaded, but also the elements that were selected, potentially the section views that were created. So sometimes it makes a lot of sense to open up the building and look inside in order to explain something. The color overrides are saved as well. So if you wanted to point out something in this 3D model that needs the attention of other stakeholders, then I can assign a color and make that part of the view definition. And then lastly, you can also make markup part of that view definition. So that is markup tools like a cloud or freehand markup. All of that is included in as part of the view definition that can be shared. So let's take a look at the 3D viewer. This is a detailed 3D model, as you can see, of all of the rebar of an apartment building. And you can navigate that in the browser. I'm using the Safari browser, but we also support Google Chrome and Microsoft Edge. Other browsers do work, but are not recommended. The modern browsers just perform better with this type of 3D content. And for all of these elements that you see here, we also keep the attributes, all the metadata that is included. So when I select an element and open up the properties panel on the right hand side of the screen, you can see all of the information that has been associated in the engineering tools or design tools and made available for reviewing in this environment. So we see, for example, that this piece of rebar has a weight of 0.03 tons. Now, all of that data is also available for review in the content browser. So when I open the content browser through this button on the left-hand side of the screen, I get a pivot table that contains all of the attributes for all of the model elements that are currently visible. And in this case, we're looking at 5,461 pieces of rebar. And that then allows for interrogating the 3D model from a data table. So if I wanted to see say all of the R1 type rebars, I can right click that element or that row in the table, say select in 3D, and we'll highlight in the 3D model where those are. And another example would be I can open this up, move the material column into the top of the table, and then I can change the way that this is grouped. So I can see that we have 4,482 SD390 rebars, 921 SR235, and again I can right click, select in 3D, and quickly see where those are. Let's open another view. We can do that from the left hand side of the screen. And this is where I have my predefined views for the project, so not just for the model that is currently active on the screen, but I can open some other content as well. I can have here a large steel structure, there's MEP design, but I want to open up the architectural design with floor plan for the Trimble office in Westminster. So I click on that thumbnail. That loads all of the relevant models, all of the architectural models, as well as in this case a 2D floor plan. Those can be combined in the 3D viewer. It will load everything for me, take the camera to the position where it was when it was saved, and it will load the information in the data table as well. All of the 3D models, well, let's give that a moment. All of the 3D models can be, of course, navigated, but also you can insert section planes in this environment. So let's say I wanted to create a section plane that makes it a little bit easier for me to see the 2D drawing content. I can take this down and then stop at the level where I have the floor plan situated. There we go. So now I can see the 2D drawing information in the context of the 3D view and still navigate. So I get the annotations from 2D drawings while still getting the 3D environment too. So model selection, or 2D drawings in this case, can be modified over here on this area in the panel. And I'm going to deactivate the drawing for a moment. And then I only have the architectural content. And I'm going to collapse this panel for a moment as well to create more space for the 3D model. And you see that this model, even though it's a separate one, also now groups by all of the material properties that have been assigned. So in this environment I can see, for example, all of the concrete cast in place that has been assigned to this Revit model. Show that in 3D and zoom to its extent. We'll remove the section box so that I can see all of those elements. These are the cast in place concrete elements that we have with these specific characteristics. But perhaps I'm interested in finding information about openings. So I can search for that information in here, or for that phrase, openings, and it will filter down the table to all of the openings that we have. And there is 579 openings with glass in here. Select them in 3D. And that may be something that I want to share with Matt. Perhaps I have a question about this glass because there is no further specification around materials that have been assigned to it. Perhaps that needs to become an RFI. So in that case, I probably want to point that out more clearly. Maybe I want to assign a color to those elements, and perhaps I want to add some markup as well. And so I can attach a cloud, or use an arrow to include that information. Let's say I gotta pick a point first. So let's say I want to point that out, and I'm wondering what material that is, and therefore Matt may want to raise that, as I said, as an RFI in ProjectSight. To do that, I can now save a view in here, and I can give that a name. Maybe that is just the question in this case: raise RFI regarding glass material, or glass color perhaps. There we go. That view is available. Matt, over to you to show in ProjectSight how the RFI can now reference this view definition created in Trimble Connect. Thanks.
Great, thanks Marcel. So from the view that Marcel created, and where he notified me or added me as a notification, I will have received an email from Trimble Connect indicating that that view was assigned to me. So I can then open that view to check out exactly what it is that Marcel is sharing with me. And once that view has loaded, I can see that he's saying raise an RFI regarding the glass color. So if I want a bit more detail, I can click. I can see there's a few more layers involved. So now I can see a bit more detail in terms of the glass in question. So now I can move over to ProjectSight in order to create that RFI and reference this view. So the way that I'm going to do that, I'm going to come into my project, go to my document control, and specifically to RFIs. So once I am here in the RFIs, I'm going to be able to create a new RFI. I will mark it as opened. Subject is glass type, more specifically window glass type. Move that to architectural. We'll do a normal importance. Location is exterior. I'm going to assign this to Elliot. I'm going to add in a description. Should the glass for windows be tempered or clear? This was not known in the specifications. Additionally, what I want to do is be able to link that view that Marcel had created. So I'm going to hit the link button. As you can see, I have various different options to be able to link, but I can link a model view. And because I was included on that model view, it's there in my drop-down list. So I can have raise RFI glass. So now that has been added to it so that Elliot was able to go in and view that exact view as well. So that's how the RFI can get created from the workflow directly from Trimble Connect. So that's kind of it for us today. Unfortunately, we kind of ran out of time, so we don't really have time for Marcel and I to take some questions from the audience, but I know some of you have been typing in some of your questions. So what we will do is we will address those questions on an individual basis. So we'll get back to you as soon as we can. So thank you all very much for taking the time in today's webinar. We hope you found this useful, and we look forward to speaking with all of you. Take care.